In order to complete my final project for this glazing, I'm going to be doing what's called a sgraffito process. I'm actually going to be scratching into the surface to reveal the clay underneath. If I wanted to, I could use a pencil and I could draw some of my designs in, but it's going to take me significantly longer. What I do once it is drawn in, I use one of these little tools that are for sgraffito. They're called miniature loop tools. And I am going to just scratch into the surface, only revealing the white or the gray clay that is underneath. I am not carving in so much that I get any deep cuts into the clay. So again, you see here how I might have outlined it, kind of similar to how you color. You outline and then fill in the area. I'm doing the exact same thing with my scratching. Another thing that I want to point out is that if you rub the clay off or those little shavings off, you get this weird clay dust in the background. I much prefer to just kind of use my mouth and blow the clay dust away from my piece. Then I don't get that gray smudged onto the black, and I know that I'm going to have a crisp, clean design. Again, if I don't want to use a pencil, my second option is just to carve it in. To fully embrace that Zentangle motto that if you make a mistake, you make it work and you find a way to be at peace with that mistake and have a way to just continue the work so that it becomes a part of the process. So if you want to do it that way, it will save you a lot of time and you will be able to do more designs on your completed and overall finished piece. The process is the exact same. I started with shaving out the edges, then I'm going through and taking out those middle pieces as well. And that way I know what it's going to look like as I get finished. Always be extremely careful how you're picking up your piece. I would not leave my bottom and my top together. I would actually separate them because I'm afraid that if I don't, I'm going to end up breaking one or accidentally dropping it. What I want to do first is I'm actually going to start my process and I'm going to be thinking about what I might use to create my Zentangles. As I make these Zentangles, I might use the handouts that have the just examples on it, or I might use some of those handouts that show me the step-by-step process for my Zentangles, the same ones that we use for our practices that we did on paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create a way for the lid and the base to stand out. So I decided what I want to do is some sort of a decorative edge. So I'm going to start on this lid and I'm going to do one of the patterns or designs that I found on the worksheet, or I might alter it and create my own. I want you to notice that in this video, I'm going to take this pattern that I started and I'm going to completely finish this in the entire area that I want it to be in. So I decided that this is the detail that goes around the edge of my lid. So I'm going to do that entire detail before I ever move on to anything else. It wouldn't be smart of me to go on and start making some other areas on the bottom of the container or in a different area, different section, if I know that I won't have enough time to finish all of them. It'll look like a more completed project if I complete this area and I run out of time. At least this will be a nice, detailed, really well crafted aspect if I do end up not being able to complete all of the ideas that I have going on. So for example, if we look at this photo, this could be one completed step. If I run out of time, at least my piece looks like it is one finished design. Then if we look at the second photograph, I decided to add a little bit more. But again, because all of the designs that I did are contained to one area, and I finished that entire area before I moved on to a new section, the piece could look like it was finished just at this step. I will continue making Zentangle designs around my piece until I am either satisfied that it is a completely finished product that I am happy with, or I'm going to run out of time, but I know that I'll at least have what looks like a finished product. I worked on one design at a time until I came up with what I was happy with when I was completely finished, and this is my end design using both contrast, emphasis, and making sure that it looked like something that was completely done and that I was happy with.